Come here, you unfortunate child. You must get married to Chief Ogbuo. You must get married. If not, you leave my house. Either you like it or not, start packing your bags. You will leave for his house anytime from now. He had already paid your bride price. Pack your things and go. Papa, please. Papa, please. Dura pleaded, tears streaming down her face. I don't want to marry Chief Ogbu. He already had 5 wives. I'm only a child, Papa. I'm not yet ripe for marriage. I'm only 15. I want to go to school. Which school? Her father thundered, his voice echoing through the small house. I can't waste my money training a girl child. Your purpose is to marry and bring honor to this family. Chief Ogbu had promised to clear off our debts and give us a better life. If you become his wife, you need to go, my daughter. You need to get married to him. Either you like it or not. I'm not seeking your opinion on this. Go inside and pack your bags. He's coming with his kinsmen to pay your bride price. Dura ran to her mother, who was just returning from the farm. A basket of yams balanced on her head. Mama, 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 she pleaded. Please talk to Papa. He wants to marry me off to Chief Ogbu. I don't want to, Mama. I don't like him. Please, Mama, help me. Her mother sighed heavily, her face clouded with sorrow. She placed her basket on the ground and pulled Dura into a hug. My child, she said softly, wiping Dura's tears. I understand your pain. I too do not want you to marry Chief Ogbu. But what choice do we have? We owe him so much money that we can't pay. And he had promised to forgive the debt if you marry him. It breaks my heart, Dura. You are still a child. It breaks my heart to see you getting married at this age. But there is nothing I can do. This is our only hope. Please, my child. Do this for us. Do this for your family. And for your siblings. Please. Dura wailed for days, her heart shattered by the betrayal of the people she trusted most. On the day of the introduction, she was handed over to Chief Ogbu, a old man enough to be her grandfather, proudly declared that he would take care of her 5 other siblings. From the moment Dura stepped into Chief Ogbu's grand compound, she was met with wickedness. His 5 wives, Adora the eldest and the most domineering, Uju the envious and crony one, Nkechi the gossip, Amara the sly one who always played the victim, and Ifeoma, the youngest before Dura arrived, welcomed her with disdain. You think because you are young and pretty, you will take the chief attention from us. Adora is, on the first night, you are nothing but a little girl around here. You will do all we say. The next morning, Dura was ordered to fetch water from the stream, clean the compound, cook meals for the entire household, and wash clothes for the wives and their 20 children. Whenever she faltered, Adora would berate her. Lazy girl, come here. Didn't your mother teach you how to cook? Didn't she teach you how to walk? Or did she send you here to be a decoration? Adora mocked. Uju, on the other hand, made sure Dura got no rest. Dura, go and scrub the floors. Dura, sweep the yard. Dura, fetch firewood. If you don't, I will tell Chief you are disrespectful. The children too tormented her. They spilled food on purpose so she could have to clean it up, stole her possessions, and laughed at her mystery. Her mother occasionally visited her, sometimes bringing small gifts of food or fabric. One day, her mother walked in on Ifeoma slapping Dura over a minor disagreement. Don't you dare touch my daughter again, she shouted in anger, which later escalated into a big fight. But as soon as her mother left that day, Dura maltreatment worsened. One fateful afternoon, Dura was alone in the house. After doing all the house chores, arranging the house and making sure everything is in order, she laid on her bed to take a little rest when she heard a loud sound outside. Curious and cautious, she stepped out to investigate. Her blood ran cold when she saw 7 men, 4 of them Chief Ogbu's older sons, and 3 of their friends standing in the courtyard. What do you want? She stammered, backing away. Don't act like you don't know. One of them sneered. You think you can come here, flaunting your beauty and your big buttock, and we won't have a taste? This body is not only for our father, it's also for us. They cornered her. Dora screamed and fought, but they overpowered her. That afternoon, the sun bore witness to her cries until her voice faded into silence. When they were done, they left her broken and bleeding on the ground. As she lay there, her life slipping away, she whispered, "In my next world, if there will be one, I will not be powerless. I will not be bullied or controlled. I will be a queen. Everyone will worship the ground I walk on. Anything I wish for will come true. I will have wealth, beauty, and power. No one will be able to stop me. I will be untouchable. I will command the oceans and everything therein." She said, This is my this is my witch in my next world. Her eyes closed and she breathed her last. Many generations later, in the year 2006, a child was born into the struggling Okeke family. Her name was Dera, and from the moment she took her first breath, it was clear she was no ordinary child. Her beauty was mesmerizing, her intelligence unmatched, and her demeanor far too mature for her age. Even as a child, her parents often exchanged glances, wondering if their daughter was merely a child or an ancient soul reincarnated. Despite their financial struggles, the Okeke family managed to send Dera to school, where she excelled beyond anyone's expectations. She consistently took the first position in her class, her brilliance shining like a beacon. Her parents adored her, often remarking on her pose and intellect, while her classmates admires her elegance and warmth. She was a star, almost too perfect to be true. When Dera turned 13, her talent earned her a scholarship to one of the most prestigious secondary schools in the country. The day she stepped through the gate, her beauty and grace turned head. Students whispered in Awe, and teachers couldn't help but smile as they watched her slide through the halls. Everyone wanted to be close to her, basking in the light of her brilliance, but not everyone was pleased. Among the many students who envied Dera's success was Ngozi, a proud and cunning girl who led a gang of equally bitter friends. Ngozi hated how effortlessly Dera seemed to command attention. Her beauty, intelligence, and the admiration of everyone around her sparkled a deep resentment in Ngozi's heart. At first, Ngozi and her gang pretended to be friendly. They would smile sweetly at Dera, compliment her outfit, and laugh at her jokes. But behind her back, they plotted to bring her down. The first incident happened after Dera was announced as the overall first position holder in her class. Ngozi gang stole Dera's writing materials, including her favorite pen, and hid them in the school storage room. The next day, when Dera calmly pulled out a brand new set of writing tools, Ngozi and her friends were baffled. How did she get that so quickly? One of them whispered. Determined to break her spirit, they escalated their efforts. On the day of the inter-house debate, they stole her speech booklet and hid it under the podium, where no one could find it. When Dera walked up to the stage, they smirked, ready to see her fail. But to their horror, she held the very booklet they have stolen, reading it flawlessly. How did she know we took it? How did she get it back? Ngozi muttered, her hands trembling as they went to check under the podium. To their disbelief, the booklet was still there. They were surprised. How come? How did this happen? One day, Ngozi and her gang stole money from a classmate's bag and slipped it into Dera's school bag. When the owner of the money raised an alarm, Ngozi quickly volunteered. "I saw Dera near your bag earlier," she said. "We should check her bag." The principals and teachers hesitated, knowing Dera's spotless record, but under pressure, they agreed. They searched her bag thoroughly, only to find nothing. Ngozi's face turned pale as the teacher scolded her and her friends for falsely accusing Dera. That day, they were punished with detention, while Dera walked away untouched. Frustrated and desperate, Ngozi and her gang comforted Dera after school one day. They cornered her near the science lab, shoving her to the ground. You think you are so perfect, don't you? Ngozi said. Everyone think you're an angel, but we all know the truth. You're a winch. Before Dera could respond, they poured a bucket of water over her. What happened next left them frozen in terror. Dera's leg began to merge, glistening scales forming where her skin once was. Her hands stretched out, rubbing between her fingers, and her eyes glowed with an otherworldly light. She screamed in a voice that didn't sound entirely human. My God will deal with you. Suddenly, as if an unseen force has taken control, Ngozi and her gang heads began slamming against the walls behind them. They screamed in pain, their cries echoing through the empty hallway. Stop! Dera cried, horrified by what was happening. Oh Lord, I don't want to kill anyone. Oh. Please let this stop. Instantly, the invisible force released them. They staggered to their feet, their faces pale with fear, and they ran away without looking back. Sarah Okeke lay in her bed that night, trembling as sleep slowly overtook her. The memory of what happened earlier at school that day haunted her. How Ngozi and her gang's head had slammed against the walls as if controlled by an invisible force. She was terrified, not knowing what to make of it. As her eyes closed, a dream unfolded. In it, an old woman dressed in a flowing, oakley blue robes appeared before her. Her face radiated power and wisdom, and in her hand she held a golden staff adorned with shimmering seal shells. It's time, Dera, the old woman said in a calm yet commanding voice. Everything you wish for will be granted, for I am with you. But remember, no matter what happens, do not hurt anyone. Leave your enemies for me to deal with. Dera reached out, trembling, as the woman handed her the staff. The moment it touched her hands, she felt a surge of power cross through her veins. She woke up with a start, sweat on her forehead. What does this mean? She whispered into the darkness, her heart pounding. After the terrifying incident at school, Ngozi and her gang underwent a dramatic change. They avoided Dera for days, their fears evident in their existent glances. But soon they began to approach her, not with malice, but with admiration. Dera, Ngozi said one day, her voice trembling, we are sorry for everything we did to you. We are jealous, but we've learned our lesson. Can we start over? To everyone's surprise, Dera smiled and forgave them. It's never too late to change, she said warmly. From that day forward, Ngozi and her gang becomes Dera's closest friends. They studied together, laughed together, and even celebrated their milestones as a group. On their graduation day, they took countless photos, danced, and partied. After Dera graduated from secondary school, her parents, Mr. Okeke and Mrs. Adeze Okeke, sat her down for a difficult conversation. Dera, her father began, his voice heavy with regret. We are so proud of you, but we don't have the money to send you to the university. We've done all we can, but this is where our journey ends. No, Papa, Dera insisted, her voice steady despite the tears weighing in her eyes. I want to go to the university. I will find a way. Please don't give up on me, Papa. I know God will provide. That night, Dera sat in her room deep in thought. She looked up at the ceiling and whispered a prayer. Oh Lord, I want to go to school. Please make a way for me. The next morning, Mr. Chike returned home with an expression of disbelief on his face. Adeze, Dera, Adeze, my wife, Dera, he called out, his voice echoing through their modest home. What is it? Mrs. Adeze asked, rushing to him. I've been promoted at work, oh, he exclaimed, his voice filled with joy. Not just promotion, oh, they have given us a luxurious house and 2 cars as part of the package. Hey, my God is so wonderful. The family was overwhelmed with joy, laughing and crying as they celebrated. But Dera stood silently at the corner, her heart racing. Just yesterday, I wished to go to school, and now this, she thought. Later that day, as she sat alone in her room, an idea struck her. She whispered to herself, What is actually happening to me? Let me test this. If this is true, then I really need to do something about myself. Closing her eyes, she said, I wish I had millionaire in my account. Moment later, her father burst into the room, holding his phone. Dera, send me your account details right now. He said, it's too urgent. Why, dad? She asked. I want to transfer a 1 million naira to you for your education. Start packing. We will get you enrolled in the university immediately. As soon as he left, Dera collapsed onto her bed, clutching her pillow in excitement. It worked! It worked! It worked! She whispered, her voice shaking with joy. Oh, I'm enjoying this. Oh God. It worked. So I can wish for anything to come to pass. From that day on, Dera's life changed forever. Begin to understand the extraordinary power within her, the ability to command things to happen with mere words. Yet she remembered the warning from the old woman in her dreams. But deep inside, she couldn't shake the question that lingered. Who am I really? And why do I have this power?